Antaka are the gate of the samadhis of the second dhyana, and so on up to the samadhis of the sphere of neither awareness nor non-awareness. The samadhis of the heats are the gate of the samadhis of the summits are the gate of the samadhis of the acquiescences are the gate of the samadhis of the supreme worldly dharmas. The supreme worldly dharmas are the gate of the samadhi of the dukkha dharmajnanaksanti. And the dukkha dharmajnanaksanti is the gate of the samadhis leading finally to the diamond-like concentration. In brief, all the samadhis have three characteristics. They are characterized by 1. An entrance, 2. A duration, and 3. An exit. The entry and the exit are the gates. The duration is the body of the samadhi. In the Sravaka system, these things are the gates of concentration. As for the gates of concentration in the Mahayana system, see the explanations relative to Dhyanaparamita where the concentrations are fully analyzed and described. D. The perfections are also gates of concentration. 1. The perfection of morality is a gate of concentration. Why? 3 elements make up the Buddhist path. The morality element, the concentration element, and the wisdom element. The element of pure morality is the gate of the concentration element and produces samadhi. The concentration element produces the wisdom element. These 3 elements destroy the conflicting emotions and give nirvana. This is why the perfection of morality and wisdom are called gates close to samadhi. 2. The other 3 perfections, while being gates, are called distant gates of samadhi. Thus, as a result of generosity, one gains merit. As a result of merit, vows are realized. As a result of vows, the mind becomes gentle. By thoughts of loving kindness and compassion, one fears wrongdoing and one thinks of other beings. Having determined that the world is empty and impermanent, one concentrates one's mind and practices patience. Thus patience also is a gate of samadhi. Exertion in the face of the 5 objects of enjoyment controls the mind, removes the 5 obstacles, concentrates the mind and prevents distractions. When the mind wanders off, exertion brings it back and prevents it from scattering. It also is a gate of samadhi. C. The bodhisattva levels are also gates of concentration. Finally, the first bhumi of the bodhisattva is the gate of concentration of the second bhumi, and so on up to the 9th bhumi, which is the gate of concentration of the 10th. The 10th bhumi is the gate of the innumerable samadhis of the Buddha. This is how the bhumis are samadhi mukhas. 3. Differences between dharanamukha and samadhimukha. Question. The dharani mukha's gates of remembrance and the samadhi mukha's gates of concentration are either identical or different. If they are identical, why repeat them? If they are different, what is the difference? Answer. Above, I spoke of the differences between samadhimukha and dharanamukha, but I must repeat myself here. The samadhis are associated with the mind only, whereas the dharanis are sometimes associated with and sometimes dissociated from the mind. Question. How do you know that the dharanis can be dissociated from the mind? Answer. If a person who has the dharani of retaining what one has heard conceives wickedness, the dharani does not leave him. It always follows this person like the shadow follows the body. The practice of samadhi, by being prolonged, ends up by realizing a dharani. Just as a person who has cultivated pleasures for a long time ends up by entering into their nature, so the samadhis joined with the wisdom of the true nature of dharmas gives rise to the dharanis. On the condition that it is baked in the fire, a vessel of unbaked clay can contain water without letting it leak out and can even help a man cross a river. The samadhi lacking wisdom is like the unbaked vessel, but if it obtains the wisdom of the true nature, it is like the baked clay vessel. It can contain the numberless qualities, past and present, of the bodhisattva. Thanks to that, the bodhisattva can effect the crossing and arrive at Buddhahood. Such are the many differences between samadhi and dharani. IV. Silence of the Sravakas on the Dharanis. Question. There is no mention of Dharanis in the Sravaka system. Why is it that only the Mahayana speaks of them? Answer. Do not ask why a small thing is not contained in a big thing. Rather, ask why a big thing does not contain small things. We do not wonder why a humble house contains neither gold nor silver. Furthermore, the Sravakas do not try hard to accumulate qualities. They only try, by means of wisdom, to try to free themselves from old age, sickness and death. This is why the Sravakas do not use Dharanis to maintain the qualities. They are like a thirsty man who is content with a little water in his 2 hands and has no need of a pitcher to hold water. But if one must provide water for a large crowd of people, a jar is needed to hold the water. In the interest of beings, the bodhisattva must have the Dharanis to maintain the qualities. Furthermore, in the Sravaka system, it is above all a matter of the 3 characteristics of conditioned dharmas. 1. Production, 2. Disappearance and 3. Impermanence. Their scholars say, dharmas are impermanent, and since they are impermanent, there is no need of Dharanis. Why? Because things of impermanent nature are not to be retained. Only the cause and conditions that constitute past actions do not perish. Similarly also the fruits of retribution in the future which, although not yet born, are conditioned by past actions. According to the Mahayana system, the characteristics of production and disappearance are not real, neither are the characteristics of non-production and non-disappearance. The complete removal of views and characteristics, that is what is real. If therefore the bodhisattva remembers past dharmas, that is not a mistake. In order to retain good dharmas, good faculties and other good qualities of the past, the Dharanis are necessary. The Dharanis always follow the bodhisattva from lifetime to lifetime. This is not the case for the samadhis. Sometimes they disappear at the changing of the lifetime. Such are the many distinctions to be made in regard to the Dharanis and the samadhis. This is why the Prajnaparamita Sutra says here, the bodhisattva who wishes to acquire the Dharani mukhas and the samadhi mukhas must practice the perfection of wisdom. End chapter 43.